All right, I think we can get it started right now. So let's go.
Fantastic.
Give me a moment. Here we are.
Welcome to the Lambton College International Graduate Services and Support Center, your dedicated resource for navigating life after graduation. We know the journey can be complex, from understanding immigration processes to making career decisions and expanding your professional network. That's why we're here, to simplify these challenges and support your transition into Canadian life. At the International Graduate Services and Support Center, our mission extends beyond your academic achievements. We are here to facilitate your successful integration into the Canadian workforce and society. From career counseling to workshops on Canadian workplace culture and immigration support, our services are tailored to meet the unique needs of international graduates. We're committed to empowering you with the tools and knowledge necessary for success. Embrace the opportunity to connect with fellow graduates and professionals through our networking events and stay informed with our comprehensive webinars covering a range of topics crucial for your postgraduate success. Remember, the path to achieving your aspirations is a journey we undertake together. Ready to take the next step? Visit our website and join our supportive community. Remember to follow us on Instagram and on LinkedIn for upcoming immigration webinars, networking events, and much more. Together, let's make your postgraduate journey a success.
I love that video. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Cristina Yeguren, and I'm the coordinator of International Graduate Services and Support Center. This center is dedicated to assisting you, our international graduates, as you seek employment and settle into Canadian life following graduation. International graduates from Mississauga, Toronto, Sarnia, and Ottawa have access to immigration sessions like today's, networking events, and career advice. And this is what I love about Lambton, and it's not because I coordinate a center, but we're here to support you all the way, even after graduation, with the services I just explained to you. We're one of the very few colleges in Canada that has a graduate center, and we're again here for you. A couple of weeks ago, we surveyed on Instagram, and we found out that the majority of our graduates lack information about the TEER and NOC. And this is why today we have invited two amazing guests with us from Future Soft Immigration. Today we have Maciej Błaszczyk,
Yes.
founder, I'm trying my best, founder of Future Soft Immigration. He is a licensed regulated Canadian immigration consultant and also holds a Bachelor's of Arts in English and Master's of Education and has over 15 years experience in helping international visitors find immigration pathways to Canada. We also have Julian Natale, an immigration case manager dedicated to assisting individuals and families navigate a complex immigration process. His passion lies in helping people from diverse backgrounds achieve their dreams of living, working, and building a future in a new country. So they will explain us more about the TEER and NOC categories. We will also have a Q&A section, so you can drop your questions over there. And finally, we will have a survey that I really encourage you to answer, because this is how we can keep improving and just doing better events for you. So this is it from my side right now. And I would like to hand it over to you, Julian and Maciej. Thank you so much for being with us today. Now the floor is all yours. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Christina. That's very nice introduction. So yes, let's go ahead and begin. So welcome to this webinar. In this webinar, it's basically we've surveyed, and many Lambton College students were looking specifically to get the answers about what are the NOCs and TEERs. But more specifically, we're going to do a lot of different content here. So we're going to actually talk about the TEER system, the NOC system, but we're also going to talk about how NOCs and TEERs affect your immigration pathways. So we're going to talk about how that relates to immigration specifically, and we're going to give you some tips on how to navigate your employment pathway in a way that will maximize your potential for permanent residency in Canada. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So first of all, quick introduction. My name is Maciej Błaszczyk. Thank you very much for Christina for pronouncing my name correctly. I am the regulated Canadian immigration consultant and founder of Future Soft Immigration. So I actually had a long career as working as a college professor at many public colleges like Seneca College, George Brown College, York University. I've worked as a college professor. I've also worked as a language proficiency examiner for many of these high-stakes language proficiency exams like IELTS, TOEFL, and CELTA and CAIL. So I've had a lot of experience in that. And of course, I've become an immigration consultant over the last couple of years. And, as an immigrant myself, it is my passion to help newcomers just like me and my family to find pathways here in Canada. And with me is Julian Natal. Julian.
Good morning, everybody. Pleasure to be here again. Thank you to Christina for the introduction. Machi as well, taking the floor, doing a fantastic job as he always does. Glad to be here, and I'm the immigration case manager for Futuresoft Immigration. Again, myself an immigrant as well, moved to Canada in 2002, and I know it can be a struggle for newcomers to come here and find the right path to I guess even their dreams and what they would like to accomplish while they come here. So my duty is to help people and get them on the right track, essentially.
Perfect. So fantastic. So let's go ahead and begin then. And as we move on, many times you're going to see a QR code on the right here. If you like to book a consultation with Futuresoft Immigration to get a good foothold on your immigration pathway, we do provide a special $100 immigration consultation for Lambton College graduates and current students. So if you're currently enrolled or have graduated for Lambton College students, we have an exclusive $100 immigration consultation that will provide you with a very clear pathway towards your immigration journey, right? So we outline a personalized pathway for you guys. So let's go ahead and begin. Now that we got the introductions, let's get into the meat and potatoes. So let's talk about the TEER system in general. So first of all, let's talk about NOCs. So NOC stands for the National Occupation Classification System. This is the National Occupation System. It was actually launched in 1992. And this NOC system, the National Occupation Classification System in Canada, helps the Canadian different branches of Canadian government and even businesses to basically identify different kinds of positions. So what positions you are, how they are scaled. This is important for being able to assess what's the median wage for particular jobs. And I'm getting some questions already about was my position in Tier 3, Tier 2 position? Just Google know your NOC, know your NOC, and you'll find a website. We're going to share that a little bit later, and you can find out exactly what tier or what NOC your position is using that website. We're going to help you out a little bit later. But in any case, between 2016, actually in 2021, the NOC system was updated into a OABCD occupational classification system, right? And in 2021, it was upgraded to a tier system. So basically how this looks like is you have skill type O or 0, which are management jobs, right? These management jobs means these are management or supervisory positions in general. So these are like general manager of a restaurant, like a company manager. Skill A was a professional designation. So it's someone like a doctor, scientist, architect. These are positions that usually require a university. They actually require a university degree, at least a 4-year bachelor's degree. These are professional jobs, so doctors, lawyers, dentists. Then skill B requires maybe a college diploma of some sort, right? Chefs, plumbers, electricians. Then level C, these were requiring something like just a little bit of high school or some high school, but you could also use an apprenticeship program. And then skill level D was unskilled, so not requiring any education, just maybe some on the job system, on the job experience. Now, from 2022 to the present, this tier system of 0 to D was changed to the tier system. So skill type O became tier O, same, no difference. Tier 1 is equivalent to skill level A. Now, major change here is tier 2 was level B, but skill C is now combined. So tier 3 and 4 was then split apart. So tier level C, which basically encompassed some just high school, now was split into 2 different categories, tier 3 and 4, and then tier 5 is considered the unskilled, right? So let's move on a little bit closer here to how this actually looks here. So in terms of the tier system, tier O are management positions. Now, I just want to make sure we understand the difference between tier O and double O. Tier O means management position, like restaurant manager, company manager. Tier double O, which are important, we're going to talk about later, these are executive positions like chief executive officer or VP of a department, right? Or the owner. So these are double O. These are not even on this. These are, so usually when you look at the tier system, we're looking for NOCs. Tier double O are executive positions. These are chief executive officer. They're usually not even listed on most government sites. Again, tier 1, we're looking for university degree. Tier 2, we require usually a college degree or apprenticeship program. Tier 3, we may need a college diploma or apprenticeship diploma. But again, we have different kinds of tier 2. Tier 2 are more like technical jobs, like medical laboratory technologist, computer network and web technician. And then tier 3 is more like bakers, dental assistants, jobs that require on-the-job training, experience training. Tier 3 can also encompass some trades positions. So some trade positions are very important too. Tier 4, again, we're looking at some, usually there are a few trade positions that are also under tier 4, but mostly these are, you require a high school diploma with some training. They do not require college, right? So these may require apprenticeship, but not college, which means there's some trades, skilled trades, which fall under tier 4, but some skilled trades also go under tier 3. We have to be careful. And then tier 5 is the unskilled positions, right? So some of you guys are asking, is my position tier 1, 2, 3? Which position am I at? So just Google know your NOC, and you'll find this website. This is a government website to find your occupation classification code. And basically, all you do is you use this website to search for your position. You choose the position which is closer to you, and it will tell you which NOC you have, which tier you have. So it will tell you exactly what NOC you have and which tier you have. This is a very easy website to navigate. You can do it yourself very easily. So just Google know your NOC, and then use this very easy website that's provided by the government to know exactly what tier or what NOC your position is, okay? So basically, that's basically when we'll talk about tiers and NOCs. Again, if you are having trouble finding your position, you can always book a consultation by scanning this QR code. We're always happy to help you. Okay, so more importantly, though, we know that these are NOCs, these are tiers. Tier basically tells you the general category of your position. NOC is the actual code of your job, the job name that you have. The specific name of the job that you have is the NOC, or National Occupation Code. Tier is the education and skill level from 0 to 5 that designates what kind of skill you have. Now, tiers are very important because, for example, if you're applying under Canadian experience class, and many graduates from Lambton College will certainly want to use their postgraduate work permits to accrue Canadian work experience. If you're hoping to apply for Canadian work experience, tiers will be important. So for Canadian experience class, you can apply if you have accrued NOC experience of 0 through 3. 4 and 5 tier experience do not count. So if your job is in tier 4 and 5, you cannot use this experience to apply for Canadian experience class. This is very important, right? So at the very minimum, if you're hoping to apply for Canadian experience class, make sure you're applying for jobs that are at least tier 3, not tier 4 or 5. I know many graduates are tempted to pursue well-paying jobs at a tier 4 position. But if you're serious about your permanent residency pathway, make sure you have the right position. Also, make sure that when you're applying for Canadian Experience class, you have the minimum language proficiency examination score. So for tier 0 or 1, you're going to need a minimum of CLB or Canadian Language Benchmark score of band 7, CLB 7 or CELPIP 7. But if you're doing a tier 2 or 3, you're going to need just a minimum of CLB 5, right? Now, I should also point out that these minimum levels of CLB requirements are highly deceptive, because if you're serious about applying for your Canadian Experience class, if you're serious about improving your chances of getting selected from the pool of qualified candidates for permanent residency, you're going to have to get a very high CLB score, very high CLB score. So, the CLB score translates to a CRS or Comprehensive Ranking System score for your application for permanent residency, for your points, your CRS points in the pool of qualified candidates. Now, if you're getting a band 5, which is minimum, band 5 for Canadian Experience class tier 2 or 3, you're only getting 48 CRS points. Right? When you jump to band 6, you're getting about 3 extra points per skill level, per speaking, listening, reading, and writing. So each one you jump in speaking, listening, reading, writing from band 5 to 6, you're getting about 3 points per each skill level, so you increase your score a little bit. When you jump from 6 to 7, it's even a very small increase in your CRS score, right? Not a very strong increase in your CRS score, but if you're able to jump just from band 7 to 8, now you're getting 6 points in each skill level. That is a huge jump. And of course, for band 9, now band 9 is very important because band 9 activates bonuses to your work experience, even your past working experience by 25 points. You get 25 points extra in your work experience in Canada and in your work experience back home if you have a band 9. And of course, that is a huge jump in terms of CRS points for your language score. Again, for band 10, it's a small increase. Band 9 is the sweet spot. If you're serious about your permanent residency pathway to Canada, you should be aiming for band 9. Now, at least. By the way, for some of you, if you guys speak French, awesome. French is amazing, right? That increases your score, your CRS score significantly. Again, if you just get band 7 in your French score, you're getting 12 extra points in your CRS. That's excellent. 12 points can make a huge difference in your CRS score and your potential for getting selected for permanent residency. So if you do speak some French, getting some extra French might be very important. So let's move on a little bit about NOCs. Just speaking about French a little bit, right? French is very important because apart from the CRS score, so in the past, from 2015, the CRS score was introduced in Canada in 2015. And the CRS score, the Comprehensive Ranking System score for selecting candidates for immigration to Canada, was actually adopted from the French system in 2015. But in 2022, we have introduced the category system for express entry. And in the category system, candidates that are able to fall into specific NOCs in their job experience in Canada are able to get an accelerated pathway to permanent residency, which means that the selection criteria is much lower. So, for example, currently the general draw was something about 520, 530. For something like under the category system, which has different categories, it can range from 380 to 420. That's a huge difference, right? Over 100, 200 point difference. So I mentioned that the category-based system has different categories. One of them is French language proficiency. So if you do speak French, right? If you do speak French, that is a great opportunity. If you speak band 9 or above, in fact, that is amazing. So if you actually score band 7 or higher in French skills, you can get 25 additional points on your score if you score CLB 4 or lower. Obviously, many Lambton College students can speak CLB, Canadian Language Benchmark 5, 6, 7, 8, much higher than 5. If you can score a French score of 7, you get 50 additional CRS score points. That is a huge, amazing difference here. So again, very important. Now, let's talk more about NOCs. So as new graduates from Lambton College, you are pursuing positions. These are the positions you should be searching for. So I know many candidates, many graduates from Lambton College are hoping to find positions in the healthcare occupations. So for the healthcare occupations, we're not looking for all healthcare occupations, but this is also the broadest section. So we're looking for jobs that fall under NOC 3112, 31201, chiropractors, dentists, dietitians, general practitioners, licensed practical nurses. Nursing is so important. Licensed practical nurses, right? Very important here. Massage therapists, right? If you're falling under any of these NOCs, you are going to be shortlisted for permanent residency in Canada. Medical laboratory assistants, medical laboratory technicians, and technologists. This is important. So if I know that many Lambton College students are graduating under these NOCs, you should be looking for these particular jobs here, right? Paramedical occupations. Paramedics, very important profession here in Canada. We need a lot of paramedics here. A physiotherapist, right? So either therapy, a technical occupation, therapy and assessment, registered nurses, right? We got anything, and again, yeah, veterinarians, surgeons, right? So there's a wide gamut of positions in the healthcare industry. If you fall under any of these NOCs, right, you may be able to qualify for a short list, being shortlisted for permanent residency in Canada. The next one we're going to think about is the science, technology, engineering, and math occupations, or the STEM occupations. This is the second broadest occupation as well. I believe the last invitation for these positions was something around 420 CRS score. That's amazing, right? There are also many provincial nominee programs which go for these STEM positions as well, and healthcare positions. We're going to talk about that later. Right, for under the STEM positions, right, this is really great. We have architects, business specialists, computer engineers, data scientists. This is very, data scientist is a position that's really sought after for many provinces. Yes, so we have software developers and programmers. If you are a software developer and programmer, if you have a position or are currently holding this position in Canada under NOC T21232, that is a really, really popular position. Very software engineers and designers, web designers. So if you're an app developer or a website designer, these are excellent positions for you as well. So these are the STEM positions, right? For the trades, trade occupations are awesome. They're extremely powerful, but for the federal program, there is a shorter list here for qualified trades positions. Now, these include carpenters, plumbers. Plumbers, especially if you're looking for a position in plumbing, that is an extremely popular position, not only for the federal level, but also for provincial level. There's almost no province in Canada that is not short of plumbers. That is one of the fastest ways to get permanent residency Canada. If you're a plumber or carpenter, welder, electricians are very important. So these are really good skilled trades as well. Then we have the transport occupations. We are, in Canada, is lacking individuals in transport occupations. One of the key positions, very popular positions, is we need long-haul truck drivers. This is a very important position. As I heard, TTC, the Toronto Transit Commission, is now hiring many positions for trains. So railway, carman, woman, this is NOC 42403. These positions are now open for TTC, and TTC provides, this is a unionized job, and they provide training A to Z. If you're looking for these positions, these are amazing positions as well. And there are a lot of different jobs here in the trade, in the transport positions. I know that many Lambton College students have some experience, or some have graduated with agriculture, agri-food occupations, mostly the science of agricultures, right? So, and again, for this, we also require, this is the most narrow position that we're looking for. These are most narrow positions. So basically, agricultural service contractors and farm supervisors, right? Butchers, we need butchers in every province in Canada, in Toronto, in Ontario, a lot, especially, right? And so when we're thinking about, so one of the things we want to talk about here is, when you're choosing your profession, the first thing you want to think about, does it align to the category-based round of invitations? Does it align with one of the categories that I listed here under the category-based rounds of invitations for express entry? If you are not sure about whether or not your occupation might fit under these category-based invitations, Google category-based immigration or express entry category-based, and it will pull up a website, government website, and you can actually take a look at each occupations. By the way, these slides that I'm showing you, these update all the time, so these may get wider or more narrow in terms of list as time goes by. These get updated regularly. So, but this is one of the first things you should be thinking about. Does my NOC align with the federally mandated express entry category-based system? Can I find my NOC under these categories? Because this will provide you with the fastest possible pathway to permanent residency in Canada. If you get selected under federal express entry Canadian experience class under a category-based system, you can expect to get you can get permanent residency within 6 months. Usually, when you're applying for permanent residency, it's between 6 to 12 months based on bureaucracy. These are the fastest pathways. These will take you as the fastest pathways for entry to Canada. We have some questions here. Just before we move on to the next section here, are there any questions, any burning questions?
We have 25 questions.
Right, and I'm looking at some of them. I think I've answered some of hers.
Yeah.
Human resource generalist would be, take a look at Know Your NOC, put in human resource generalist, and then you'll know. It's very easy. Just go ahead and Google human resource generalist NOC. You will find it right away. It will do it. I can go ahead and Google it right now. I do not have the memory for which tier each job is, but you can go ahead and take a look. It will probably be tier 1 or 2. Okay, depending on the position, but you can go ahead and just Google that. Super, super easy. So if you are not sure about what your NOC or tier is for your current occupation, just Google Know Your NOC, or write the name of your job, NOC, and Dr. Google will provide you with the information very, very quickly, and you will know which tier or NOC your current position is. Here's another question. My job title does not match exactly with the website available NOCs. That's excellent question here. Yeah, so that's a great question. So there are two things. There are the actual job NOCs, and then there's job title. Okay, I could say, so this is important because I can be a grocery bagging specialist, right? And you're thinking, grocery bagging specialist, that's the job title. Oh, you know what? You can work at Subway and be a sandwich artist. That's your job title, sandwich artist. But guess what? You're not a sandwich artist. You have to take a look. The best way to do is ask your employer, right? Or look at Know Your NOC. Or if you still can't find it, book a consultation with Futuresoft Immigration. We'll take the time to look at your current work experience. We will be able to answer that question precisely for you. If you still have problems, right? And you can book a consultation with us for only $100. We'll find your NOC and also find the best pathway for you to immigrate Canada. Any other questions, guys? Anything that you guys selected here? Oh, great question. Yeah, no, sorry. This is for Lalit. Lalit, your work experience during your post-secondary studies does not count towards your express entry pathway. Your experience your work experience only counts after you finish graduating. So your co-op during your post-secondary studies as a student in post-secondary education in Canada, your experience outside of the college, that's 20 hours a week that you had for working, or your co-op position does not count towards your permanent residency experience. Only experience that you've received after you've graduated, or when you were not a student, or when you were just working under a work permit.
As I understand, you guys should probably look for the most closest tier. We have a question here that says, I'm working as a coordinator at a warehouse, but I type it on the NOC and she or she gets two different NOCs. So I believe they should go and search for it and try to find out the duties that are more similar to their job description so they can
Yeah.
find a NOC like that.
Yeah, so again, there are some reasons. So there are certain government websites. So one of the things would be Job Bank, Glassdoor, and then they basically Know Your NOC. If you Google Know Your NOC, the first thing that comes up is the Canadian government website. I can actually take the link if I can and just put it into the chat. That might actually help. And again, all I'm doing here in Google is saying find your NOC, and it's Canada.ca. Find your national occupation classification system. And again, if you're having problems doing this, it takes a little bit of trial and error. It does take a little bit of trial and error. I'm putting this into the chat right now. It does require a bit of trial and error. You may have to cross-reference with Glassdoor and with Job Bank. And one of the most important things is to take a look at the median wage. So the median wage shows high and low, the scale of your job. So your wage should align to that. But also you can take a look at the descriptions. Are you actually doing the job? So you can see the actual description of the job. Are you doing these particular things in this particular position, right? So if you're not sure, again, we're happy to help out in this respect. We can find this for you. But again, it takes a little bit of research. If you're having problems, if you're not sure, by all means, schedule a consultation with us. We can help you. I'm seeing a lot of questions. What a TEER is for supply chain and personal support worker, home care. So again, all we got to do is get Dr. Google to help us out. I'm going to go ahead and just go NOC. There you go. Administrative financial support and supply chain logistics, Statistics Canada. Oh, and there we go. We got one of these. I believe it's saying tier 2. But again, are you a flight crew schedule supervisor, inventory control supervisor, part service supervisor, production clerk supervisor, receiving supervisor, transportation logistics supervisor? You have to take a look at the main duties. Again, this takes a little bit of time. If you're having problems with this, we will put the time into it to basically look through it, right? So we are definitely happy to help you out, but it does take a little bit of time to find the precise NOCs, right? Any questions, guys, before we move on here?
I think we're fine right now. We can move on and then we can probably get back to some questions.
Okay, so it says here, does it matter if our job and our education are not related to each other? Yes and no. So if your current work experience, if your current job in Canada does not align to your past education or your past work experience, that's fine. But if you're applying under a provincial nominee program, and you're applying this work experience, it's always good to see that the past experience aligns with your present experience. So it does matter in terms of the point system a lot. Okay, so it depends what program you're applying for. Okay, all right, we are moving on here because I think a lot of us are going to be interested in the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, the OINP. And this is where the NOCs and TEERs really matter a lot. Okay, so hopefully some of you guys are there, you're watching. By the way, guys, this is very important. If you guys if you like to get a clear perspective of whether or not you might qualify for the Ontario International Nominee Program, get a piece of paper and a pen, because I'm going to give you an opportunity to write things down to calculate your qualification for the Ontario International Nominee Program. Okay, so at this point, if you are currently employed and you know your NOC, great. If you're not sure about your NOC, go to Know Your NOC right now in your laptops or your computers. Try to find your NOC the best you can, right? If you can possibly can. If you can't, that's okay. You can always book a consultation with me. We can help you out. But so we're going to talk about the two most reliable provincial nominee programs. There is the in-demand and skilled trades, but basically the two reliable provincial nominee programs. The first one is the OINP Employer Job Offer Foreign Worker Stream. Okay, so for this particular position, you need 2 years of Tier 0, 1, 2, 3 work experience based in Ontario. So you qualify for this program after you have accrued 2 years of Ontario work experience under Tier 0, 1, 2, 3. Notice again, 4 and 5, not for the Canadian experience class, not considered for the PNP, unless it's in-demand jobs, which are there are some 3 and 4 not tier jobs in-demand jobs. Okay, but basically very important. Your job offer must what you're making, your salary must be higher than the median wage. So when you're working for your company, when you look at your job title, what you can do is you can Google your job title plus median wage. You'll be directed to a website called Glassdoor, and you'll be able to see the median wage. Median wage means the general average wage. In between the highest and the lowest wage, the median wage is the average wage. You have to be paid higher than median wage. Okay, so if you're getting a job but you're getting paid less than the median wage, you do not qualify for the Ontario International Nominee Program. So, it's hard sometimes. Great job for some of you have been working, studying for 2 years at Lambton College. You get a 3-year postgraduate work permit. We know the market's hard. You start working, you maybe sacrifice a lower wage in order to get Canadian work experience, but keep searching. You need to get that higher salary. Don't get into the comfort zone. Your salary has to be higher than median wage to qualify for this. Also, what kind of employer are you getting? So if your job is, basically employer has to be active for at least 3 years. And if the employer is within the GTA, they have to make at least an annual of $1 million in total gross annual revenue. And they have to have at least 5 full-time Canadian or permanent resident employees. If the job is outside of the GTA, that number jumps down to $500,000 in gross total annual revenue. These are not really huge numbers for businesses that hire 5 or 6 people, right? But for outside of GTA, at least 3 full-time employees who are Canadian citizens and permanent residents. So this is a very popular for OINP. But for Lambton College students, this is for you. The OINP Employer Job Offer International Student Stream. This is your pathway towards very fast permanent residency pathway under the OINP. And basically, it looks almost exactly like the other OINP for general workers, except that you do not need 2 years of working experience. All you need is a job offer. That's right. If you get a job offer tomorrow and it's a permanent job offer, if it's a full-time permanent job offer and you get it tomorrow, you may qualify for the OINP immediately, which is great. Same restrictions for the actual employer, right? Inside of GTA, at least $1 million in total gross annual revenue with five full-time Canadian PRs or Canadian citizens working there, but must be higher than low wage level for occupation. So this means you can actually, it doesn't have to be median wage either. Big idea here, you can sacrifice for a little bit of a lower wage, right? It has to be higher than low wage. Again, take a look at your job your job title, search median wage, and you can see high, low, and medium. As long as it's higher than the lowest low wage level listed under Glassdoor, you'll be able to qualify. So as long as you have a job offer at a qualifying and with a qualifying employer, and it's above low wage for that particular position, it's higher than low wage under that position, you may qualify for the Ontario International Nominee Program Employer Job Offer International Student Stream. Okay? That is probably the pathway we want to look for. And so let's go ahead and check their scoring, because this is also very important. And this is where the NOCs and TEERs really, really matter. Okay, the NOCs and TEERs will matter, as well as the geographic area. So hopefully all you guys have some pens and paper with you. So guys, think about whether or not let's take a look at our scoring factors for the OINP. Let's see if you guys qualify already for the OINP. Okay, so first of all, we want to add some points. So we're going to add some points together. So first of all, if your current NOC is 0 or TEER is 0 or 1, you're going to give yourself 10 points. And if your NOC is or your TEER is 2 or 3, if your job position is a TEER 2 or 3, you're going to give yourself 8 points. And if your TEER is 4 or 5, well, you don't qualify, so you get 0 points for that. Okay, you don't even qualify for this program, because for the OINP, it has to be TEER 0, 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so if it's TEER 0, 1, 10, 2 or 3, 8 points. Next, what's your NOC? So if, apart from the TEER, if your NOC begins with the number 0, 2, or 3, you're going to give yourself another 10 points. If your NOC number begins with number 7, you're going to give yourself 7 points. If your NOC starts with number 1 or 9, you're going to give yourself 5 points. If your NOC starts with 4 or 8, 4 points. If your NOC starts with 5 and 6, you're going to give yourself 3 points. Okay? Next, let's take a look at your salary, your wage. If you're making less than $20 an hour in this position, you do not gain any points. If you're making at least $20 an hour, you get 5 points. Over $25, 6 points. Over $30, 30 points, 7 points. Over $35 an hour, you get 8 points. Over $40 an hour, you can give yourself 10 points. Okay? I'm giving some time for everybody to add those numbers as they're calculating their qualifications here. Okay, so that's number 1. Next, pretty much all of you guys can put number 10 for this one, with valid work or study permit. So it's going to be 10. Yeah, so 10. Again, so you're going to put 10 points here. Okay, so you have a valid work permit here. All right, 10 points. Next, if you've worked at this job for at least 6 months, you get 3 points extra. So sometimes it's worth it for just those 3 points. We're going to see how much it works. Sometimes those 2 or 3 points matter a lot. So generally speaking, you want to work there for at least 6 months. And if you're making at least $40,000 a year, you get an additional 3 points. Okay, easy breezy, right? You're working legally under a working visa. You've been working there for at least 6 months, and you make at least $40,000, right? Next, education. What is your highest education? Now this is Canadian or educational credential assessment. So if you had your past bachelor's degree or master's degree assessed by WES, If it was ECA assessed, that's what you're looking here. Master's 10 points, PhD 10 point, master's 8 point, bachelor 6, graduate diploma 6, undergraduate certificate 5, right? So give their points. Okay, field of study. This is important. Guys, humanities students, I feel your pain. I've also studied the humanities. Okay, so unfortunately for humanities, you do not get any points if you've done business, administration, social, legal, educational, behavioral science, security, transportation services, social works related programs, you get 6 points. And if you're in the STEM, if you have studied in the STEM, you can give yourself a whopping 12 points there. That's a big one. So again, Canadian education experience, if you have 1 credential, you get 5 points. If you had 2 credentials, two certificates, 2 programs, you give yourself 10 points. Okay, everybody hopefully is here with me so far. Okay, all right, moving on. Language. So guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys have completed IELTS or TOEFL or TALE as part of your prerequisite for joining Lambton College. You needed that standardized language proficiency examination. But you will need another standardized language proficiency examination you will need for immigration, either CELPIP, IELTS, or PTE. I strongly recommend CELPIP. CELPIP is the best, overall easiest, and most accessible exam. I've actually worked as an IELTS examiner for years. And the IELTS is much more difficult than the CELPIP. It's almost equivalent to the academic. Then again, if you've done the IELTS before and you're familiar with it, there are only some slight differences between IELTS, academic, and general. You may go for it. But if you're looking for the highest possible score, if you want to reach the highest possible score, CELPIP is the easiest one, the most accessible one. PTE, you must almost have the perfect score to get a band 9. But basically, if your CLB is 9 or higher, you give yourself a 10 points, CLB 8.6, CLB 7, anything lower than CLB 7, you do not get any points. Okay, for language, and again, 1 official language score, you get 5 points. If you also speak French, right, 10 points, right, that's amazing, right? So you just need a CLB 6 in French to get an additional 5 points. That's amazing, right? If you're a primarily English language speaker. Okay, big point is regionalization. Remember, this is the Ontario International Nominee Program, and Toronto and the GTA is really overcrowded with newcomers to Canada, but the rural area of OINP, this is outside of the GTA, we have many needs for jobs. If you're looking for a job outside of the GTA, this is important. Hamilton is not too far away. It's a 1-hour drive from Toronto. It's a 1-hour train ride from Toronto. Hamilton, that's outside of the GTA. Barrie, it's a beautiful city outside of the GTA. Lots of beautiful jobs in Barrie outside. If it's outside of the GTA, if your job is outside of the GTA, you get 8 points. If it's in Northern Ontario, it is 10 points. By the way, there is a pilot which is ending. If you're planning to work in a rural area of Ontario, this pilot is ending next month, but this is almost an instantaneous path towards permanent residency. If you're working in the rural areas of Ontario, do contact me, book a consultation with me. There is an even faster pilot program for rural and Northern Ontario programs that are even faster than provincial nominee program. But again, if you're outside of the GTA, you get 8 points. Inside of the GTA, you're 3 points. If you're working in Toronto, you're not getting any points on the OINP. So think about that. Right, and then again, there is more locality of study where you studied. Unfortunately, you guys, if you are in Lambton College studying inside of the GTA, you're getting 0 points, right? That is, if you study outside of the GTA, then you get more points, okay? So 8 points outside of the GTA, depends on which campus you can study. So hopefully, guys, you have been calculating your scores. I'll give you guys a moment to basically calculate your score. Just put a total to see what your score is. So when you're looking at the employer job offer international student stream, the last invitation was on March 12th, and that's 72 and above. Now, if you studied early childhood education and assistant candidates, you just need 60 points. So early childhood education, right now, if you've been studying early childhood education at Lambton College, you guys are in luck. You again, these draws are also category-based system now. They're not just general draw. General draw would be the 72 points. So if you're for all other categories, you're looking at this. They may provide, these are ongoing. So June 17 was the last invitation focusing on early childhood educators. But again, these kind of draws happen all the time. But if you're scoring 70 and above, you're in luck. You may qualify for the Ontario International Nominee Program International Student Stream. And for that particular program, all you need is a job offer from a qualified Canadian employer, right, in the right tier, and you are in. So that's really good. Okay. So I guess it's time for us to ask some questions. Christina, Giuliano, do you guys have any questions that you guys found to be extra interesting or pertinent?
There's one here. Do I need to work for the same employee to qualify?
Yes and no. So you actually have a bit of a grace period. So let's say you are so it's not as draconian. Some clients ask me, okay, so I applied under the Ontario International Nominee Program under this tier, and then I got fired or got laid off. And then I took a couple months and then I found another job. Yeah, you still qualify. Just make sure you do this very quickly. There is a certain grace period in between one position to another. So technically speaking, you lose your qualification for the OINP. So when you make your expression of interest for the province of Ontario, you have to put all this information in there. Right? And then you have to update that as quickly as possible. There is a grace period between one position to another. You do not lose your place. You do not have to work for the same employer, but you're looking for another job under that NOC or a similar NOC that still allows you to qualify. But so as soon as you find another employer, if it's the same NOC, make sure you update your expression of interest for the province of Ontario with the correct employer. You can update that. Or if it's a different NOC, you have to update that different NOC with your employment history in Ontario as well. Okay, so you do have to update.
All right, there's another one. The experience during student can count to foreign job offer stream for points.
Sorry, sorry again?
It says that the experience during the student, like when he or she was studying, can count to foreign job offer stream. Like when they were students, if they worked, I believe it not, right?
No. So the experience studying, so any work experience that you've accrued during the course of your studies while you were students does not count towards Canadian experience class. Now, if you started that position, right, while you were studying, now here's a twist though. For the OINP, it's a little bit different because it's just having that job, not the work experience. Remember, you do not need work experience for the OINP. So let's say during your course of your studies, you got a job part-time in a NOC that coincides with this, right? And you haven't really graduated yet, right? You haven't graduated yet, but you still have this job. It's a permanent job offer. And basically, when you graduate, you instantly get this job. Yes, you qualify. So you got this job while you still had your study permit. You have this position, so it qualifies for the OINP, not the Canadian experience class. But so it's a little bit of shady ground here. Yes, for the OINP, if you're currently a student and you have this position, and it's a permanent job offer. Remember, it has to be full-time though, not part-time. And if you're a student, you can only work full part-time. So you've gained that position during your studies, but now your studies are finished and it has turned into a full-time position. Yes, it counts. Okay?
Good. All right. I believe that we have lots of questions, but we still have some slides. So probably we can just move. We're covering a lot of topics. No worries, graduates. We will get back to you with the video, and we can discuss these topics in more detail with these amazing panelists that we have today. There, you're explaining a lot. You're giving us too much information, like way
Okay.
too much. So it's amazing. Thank you so much. We can probably go. We can
Okay.
move forward, and then we will get back with some questions.
Okay, so we're going to go very quickly here. Just a quick summary, because I'm seeing a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Does my job, can I use this job for OMP? Can I join this job? Can I, So very quickly here, make sure you search your NOC. If you're having problems finding your NOC, book a consultation, right? Then take a look at the OINP website. Take a look at specifically the employer job offer international student stream. Again, the tier has to be 0, 1, 2, 3. You do qualify as long as it's 0, 1, 2, 3 tier. As long as your job, whether it's a restaurant supervisor, is a 0, 1, 2, 3 tier, you do qualify. But again, you have to go through the point system. Are you in the right region? Are you making the right salary? Right? Are you, those are important in terms of the points. But in any case, if you have questions, a lot of these, this is why we invite you for this very special offer for Lambton College students at $100 for your consultation. We will be able to look precisely at your experience and find you the absolute best program that works for you. Okay, but I want to go ahead and move a little bit to Giuliano Natale. He's going to talk about job search strategies based on NOC and TEER. So if you do not have a position, this will be important for you. Giuliano, take it away.
Thank you, my friend. So, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, thank you for staying with us this long. If you're still here, we really appreciate it. Maciej has been doing an absolutely fantastic job going through all of the different programs and what is relative to the graduates. So, in terms of jobs and finding jobs after, I mean, some of the questions that I get from a lot of our clients is can we find a job after? What kind of job are we looking for? What kind of job is going to help me get into Canada, get me my PR, and kind of quicker and easier? At the end of the day, guys, the only recommended website that I would give to you, I know there's Indeed, there's quite a few websites out there. Job Bank Canada is the legitimate government website, and it's actually very useful. I'm going to go through quite a few things here to try to persuade you to use this website, because not only will it help you, but it's very easy to use as well. So Job Bank Canada, a resource for foreign graduates. Overview of Job Bank Canada. Job Bank Canada is the official government website, as I said before, the platform that provides comprehensive database of job postings across the country. It offers resources and tools for job seekers, including resume builders, career planning, and job alerts. So let's go over that a little bit one time. Let's think about this. So the same website is going to give me my resume, it's going to give me a career plan, and it's also going to give me alerts on jobs that I'm kind of looking for, right? So very good website off the bat. It's very reliable and it can help you. So reliable and trustworthy. Why use it? Job postings are verified and updated regularly, ensuring authenticity. There's a wide range of opportunities. It covers various industries, sectors, making it suitable for every career level. And government support as well offers access to government programs and services for job seekers. Now, navigation of the website is a very user-friendly interface, simple, and the design makes it very easy for people to apply for jobs, and options available in both English and French. We can go to the next slide, my friend.
Sure.
Perfect. Now, going back to how easy this website is to use, I'm going to break it down into 4 easy steps for you guys. So the first one is create a job bank account. Okay, so job bank account, register online to access personalized features. Very easy. You would log in, make an account. If you have a bank account already or a sign-in partner, I'm pretty sure you do need to use a sign-in partner to make an account, but after that, you're off to the races. You make a few security questions and it will give you the full benefit of the website, and you could go do whatever you need to do on there. Build your profile, so complete your profile with the relevant skills, education, and experience. So what you have done back home, what you've done here, make a resume. Like I said before, it allows you also to make a resume on this website. So very, very good in that perspective. Search by NOC code. So we've gone over NOC for the last little bit right here, and Mach has done an amazing job of explaining the NOC and the tier system. So if you are having trouble finding your NOC, as he said before, there is the website Find My NOC. Let's say you do have your NOC. You can just plug your NOC right into the search engine on the website, and all the job listings will come up with that NOC. So saves a lot of time. It saves you from possibly going to apply for a job that won't give you your PR as easy, or won't give you the hours that you're looking for, or a different NOC actually, if you ended up going to a different job. So plug in the NOC and you will be directed towards the to the code that you are looking for. Set job alerts, so you can subscribe for notifications for job postings that match your criteria. As we said before, there's the resume builder and the career planning. Now, to use the resume builder is a very good tool for you also from the point of the employers. A little bit of background on me: for the last, I would want to say 2 years, 2.5 years, I've been connecting with quite a few employers, whether they're unionized positions or non-unionized, in the trades, skilled trades especially, is a huge market right now, and it has been. It's very, very heavily needed in Canada. This is Macha even touched up on before: carpenters, plumbers, electricians as well. I mean, electricians, there's actually an overflow of electricians at the moment, so I don't want to give you the wrong information, but plumbers and carpenters and just general skilled trade workers are very, very needed. So if you do have experience in that, that might be something very good for you. And we do here at FutureSoft Immigration have quite a few resources that we do use to help people find jobs later on. You can once again book a consultation on the QR codes that you've been seeing. And then as far as labor market information, get insights to your job trends and salary expectations. So it actually allows you to see absolutely everything that you need in terms of the salary of the occupation that you're going for, and exactly where you fit in the category. The next slide, please, my friend. So tips for effective job search on Job Bank Canada. So tailor your application. So customize your resume and cover letter for each job application to highlight relevant skills and experiences. I cannot tell you how important it is, guys, to adjust or adapt to the different jobs that you're applying for. It may take you a little bit more time, but it will definitely pay off in the end. I promise you, if you blast out the same resume or the same cover letter to 100 different employers for different jobs, it's not going to look great. Whereas if you did take just a few more seconds to adjust your cover letter to truly adapt to that employer, they would really appreciate it, because it looks like you do care and you are trying to find a job for yourself. So leverage network opportunities, connect with potential employers and industry professionals through Job Bank's networking features. Again, beautiful. They have networking features that you guys can use to connect directly with employers that are looking for candidates for job offers. Stay informed, regularly check job postings and updates to stay aware of new opportunities. So it is constantly updating. If you do make an account, like we said before, to go through the steps, you can also like or put aside job offers that you've seen before. I can't tell you if they're going to still be there, but it is good to have them on the side. So if not that they didn't apply, you can definitely later go back and apply for those jobs, but definitely be careful, because they do go. They're not going to be there forever. Now, it tells you exactly when they were posted. It tells you how long they're looking to hire and when they're looking to hire as well. Very easy website to maneuver and navigate. And one of the best features of the website that I can tell you right now is the actual job search engine. So you can pick from any province in Canada. You can be specific if they're looking for foreign workers or if they're looking for permanent residency workers. It's very specific to what you're looking for. If you're looking for an LMIA job offer, there is a tab that is specifically for LMIA job offers or temporary foreign workers. So very, very good search engine, and will help you find exactly what you're looking for there. So very good website. Do recommend it. The only website I would recommend. And of course, again, we are here for you at FutureSoft Immigration. If you guys are looking to book a consultation, we could go through as much as we can with you and try to settle you into the best NOC to gain what you're looking to get.
Mm-hmm. Right. So very good. Thank you very much, Juliano. That's excellent. So basically, if you are looking for a labor market impact assessed job offer, so when you're doing your express entry profile and you're calculating CRS score, you will see, do you have arranged employment? Now, arranged employment, right? And this is kind of miscalculating because it's NOC Tier O, Major Group O. It's not Tier O, it's Tier O, but not Tier Double O gives you 50 points if you have a labor market impact assessed offer. If you have a Tier Double O, that's when you get the 200 points for your labor market impact assessed job offer. So arranged employment for your CRS score means a labor market impact assessed job offer. Now, when employers need to apply for labor market impact assessment, so a labor market impact assessment allows Canadian employers to hire foreign skilled workers for positions here in Canada, right? Unless these are foreign workers that have already a work permit. If they don't have a work permit, this is how you issue a work permit. But even though you have a work permit, you get 50 additional points if you get this with a labor market impact assessed job offer. If that job offer is a labor market impact assessed job offer, companies that really need to hire newcomers to Canada need to use Job Bank as part of the requirements of creating a labor market impact assessed job offer. So the Job Bank is the absolute best way for you to find companies in Canada that are ready to issue labor market impact assessments for you. Okay? Fantastic, right? So in any case, we are finished it off here. We had a long webinar. We have a lot of different questions. So we're going to do, again, if you have any questions, scan the QR code. We're happy to arrange a consultation. I'll also put the consultation registration link into the chat. But now it's time for a quick Q&A, last Q&A. Do we have any more questions this morning or this afternoon at this point?
I think there's a general one. What are the requirements regarding job offer? Does the employer needs to provide information?
Okay, so the employer needs to provide a letter of employment, and you have to, so to prove your employment in Canada, you need two things. One, you need a employment letter. If you haven't done that, you need an employment letter. The employment letter, if you don't have a letter of employment, I can send you guys, again, when book a consultation, I can provide you guys with a template of what you need from your employer. Basically, you need to know that your letter of employment needs to list your job, including your NOC, and your salary, and the date in which you started, and that it's a permanent job offer. So it's a letter from your employer written on an official employer, official letterhead of the company that says you are employed. This is your name. You are employed for this position for this much per hour, and that this is a permanent position, and the address where the position is. And the second thing you need is your pay stubs, right? And perhaps your T4 if you've already done your taxes. That's what we need to prove that this is a valid position. Your employer does not have to fill out anything else. Any other questions, guys?
Can I apply for OIMP if I have a job with a foreign, with a foreign government agency in Canada? Release a bit of specific.
Okay. So is the company in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Are you officially, so are you employed by the company in Canada, or you're employed, so is the company outsourcing, or are you officially working for this company? That can be tricky. So if you, let's say, I work for a company in Brazil, my job in my company is in a company in Brazil. I am working for that company in Brazil, and they're outsourcing me to a Canadian company. So you're not working for the Canadian company. You're working for a Brazilian company. Who are you getting paid by? Are you getting paid by the company in your country, or are you being paid by the company in Canada directly? So that's a difference too. As these are complicated issues, schedule a consultation. We can take a look, but we have to search the paper trail. We need to know who you're being paid by. If you're being paid by the Canadian company here in Canada, you have Canadian work experience. But if you're being paid by your company back in your own country, and you are getting a paycheck from that company in reais and not in Canadian dollars, then you know you're not being paid by the company. You're being outsourced.
all right, good. Probably this one is more general. Is LMAI worth taking nowadays?
Yes, it's 50 extra points. So again, let's think about it this way. There are, let's say, a series of steps we want to take in order to, let's say, maximize our chances or potential, right? Potential for gaining express entry. First, we start with the express entry. If we're under the express entry, if we fit in the right category system, we're gold. If we're under the express entry, but we're not part of any of the category system, you have two options. We can apply for the PNP. Any graduate in Canada from Lambton is qualifying for the OINP. That's the cheapest, fastest option for you. That gives you 600 whopping points. That's great. The LMIA only gives you 50 points. So if you're going for the express entry, you can get that extra 50 points. Again, everything matters. All the points matter, right? So if you're just going for the Federal Express entry, that extra 50 points on the LMIA, that will work really well. But if you can qualify for the OINP, then you're getting the extra 600 points. That's great. Again, what do we qualify for? So if you're in Toronto, if you graduated from Lambton College and you have a job in Toronto and you're not making that, you're not getting the points for the OINP, you're not under that particular program, you don't seem to be working for the OINP, and LMIA is a great way of basically getting that extra 50 points and pushing you over the edge to get invited under that program, right? So again, it depends on the situation, on the personal situation that you are in, and whether or not you qualify for the OINP. Again, if you followed through my presentation and calculated your score as best you can, and you're over 72 and over 70, you have a very good chance for qualifying for the OINP, and then you will not require an LMIA job offer. But if you can find one, that's 50 points. Why not?
Good. All right. I don't know. I so much you answered some of the questions as well. We have over 132 questions, which is kind of a lot. So we should definitely have another webinar on the international student stream with you guys. I actually am already getting some amazing feedback from our graduates. At this point, I think we should start closing it, unless you would like to answer another, like a last very general question.
Let's go for last three questions. Let's go.
All right,
Three.
go ahead.
Three questions. Let's go. Last three questions. I'm ready. And I've tried to answer some questions in the chat while Juliana was talking. All right, so I did my best. Guys, any questions? Last three questions. Let's go.
Just trying to find any general questions.
Not sure about whether your job applies for OINP? No, you're not. Right? Go calculate your score. Can't find it, have problems? Scan the QR code, book a consultation. $100 if you are a Lambton College student or a graduate of Lambton College. This is an exclusive deal for Lambton College.
How fast can you get permanent resident from Ontario Nomination Immigrant Program?
Okay, so the OINP gives you additional 600 points towards your CRS score, which then elevates your ability to, or fast tracks your ability to get selected for permanent residency in Canada. Once you get selected, so what's the process is, you're in the pool of qualified candidates, you have a certain CRS score. If you get invited to apply, if you get the ITA for permanent residency Canada, you have 30 days to apply for permanent residency. 30 days. Don't lose that, right? You got to be on the ball. Make sure you have all your documents before, when you create your express entry profiles. I always advise all my candidates, get all your documents ready. Get everything ready as if you're applying for permanent resident, as you're about to apply for PR right now. So get everything ready, create your express entry profile. Once you get invited for ITA, it can be between 6 to 16 months. So it can be 6 months, it can be 12 months. The website says 6 to 12 months. Canada has a bureaucracy and an inefficient bureaucracy. And I had some horror stories where some certain candidates had to wait 16 months to get their PR cards. That being said, guys, once you apply for permanent residency in Canada, you're under implied status. You just have to wait. Your stress can go away as long as you haven't misrepresented yourself, you haven't lied about your job experience. Remember, whatever job experience you applied for, when you applied for your student visa, that is the job experience you have provided to your government. You will not change your job experience back home in any way whatsoever. Forever, you may have to follow this. Okay, so make sure no inconsistencies, no lying to the government. If you don't do that, you're fine. You'll get your PR. Don't get caught by misrepresentation. Horror story, quick horror story. I had a candidate. I'm not going to tell you who she is, whatever. I had a candidate. She applied for a 2-year program for a college degree. She hired a ghost consultant back in your country, not a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, some ghost consultant. He advised her not to talk about her bachelor's degree in nursing in her country in order to do a computer program in Canada. Guess what? She doesn't have a bachelor's degree anymore in nursing. If she didn't declare it, and forever, she will never be able to declare it. Because as soon as she declares it in Canada, she withheld information, she will get her permanent residency or even citizenship revoked because of misrepresentation. Do not get caught into misrepresentation. Now the last 2 questions, or 1 question. Let's go 1 question here.
Right, let's go with one. I don't know, Julian, if you have one. If not,
I was looking. I really don't. They're all great questions here. But...
yeah, I know it's too difficult. Okay, what about this one? Can I combine multiple eligible NOC codes for CEC experience? Have around, like,
okay.
I believe the candidate has like, yeah, different
5
NOCs.
different job experience, right? Okay,
yeah.
So ultimately, when you're applying for express entry, you're providing a history of work. You're providing a history of work experience. Now, generally speaking, you're getting certain points for having 1 or 2, at least 2 years of experience under TEER 0, 1, 2, 3. So if those past experiences all accumulate to TEER 0, 1, 2, 3, under that, again, you're getting your CRS points. But remember, when you create your express entry profile, there is 1 tier, there is 1 NOC, there's 1 position, which is your main job that you are applying for. Okay? That is the 1 NOC. So you don't have 3 jobs. You have 1 job that is your main job. All right? And that's what you're applying for. Okay?
Okay,
but all
great.
other job experience that are tier 0, 1, 2, 3 do count, right?
Okay. If I could just add one thing, going back from the last question and when we were talking about misrepresentation, which is a very, very big thing, guys. I know I've met quite a few people that are very organized and very capable of doing applications themselves. And it is a stressful process, and you do want to make sure that you have the background and the proper information to apply properly and correctly. If you do have any hesitation, there is a QR code right there. Once again, guys, for a free assessment, and you can book an appointment with us, and we can definitely take care of that. Maciej is an RCIC regulated Canadian consultant, one of the best that I've met, and can definitely help you out with anything that you guys are struggling with or need to get done.
Okay. In terms of time periods, last question here for Rahul. Basically, time periods differ. Usually, book a consultation with me as soon as possible, and then we'll be able to prepare documents ahead of time. Right, the faster you begin to accumulate your documents, the faster you can basically apply for each program. So if you already have accumulated all the documents necessary, you can apply from one program to another as soon as you're qualified. So as soon as you get accepted for INP, we apply for express entry, we apply for permanent residency as soon as we get selected. And again, the only thing that might be a delay is the inability to produce those documents in time. Right, so if you're getting your documents WES assessed, most of you have already done so because you're at Lambton. Again, it can go very quickly. The only thing is bureaucracy. For us as applicants, we have to always follow the timelines and do things very quickly. The government can shovel its feet, figuratively speaking, but it's nothing it's beyond our control. Beyond our control. No doubt.
Absolutely. All right. We exceeded the webinar for about 25 minutes, and
Okay.
we still have people here, so it means that it was really good. We got amazing comments. Thank you to our graduates, especially thanks for you, Maciej and Giuliano, for such a detailed, clear, and enthusiastic presentation. I really love it. It's amazing. We have a lot of information, and we can arrange another one just for international student stream, because probably that's the path that most of our graduates would choose, and which we can totally do that, guys. And reading to your questions, and we're aware of your necessities, and this is why we're doing this for you. So at this point, do not forget, you can have this consultation with Futures of Immigration for $100. It will be an hour, which is a lot of time. You can cover a lot in an hour, so I really encourage you to take advantage of these resources. We're giving it to you today. We're gonna have the same session today, this afternoon at 5:30. So if you still have questions, I'm sure you do, you can join us again, and I will love to see you there and try to answer the questions you have. Yeah, once again, thank you so much, Giuliano, Maciej, for an amazing session. I'm sure we will do this again. And thank you to our graduates for participating. I will see you this afternoon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. Take care, everybody.
Take care. Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Bye.